So here's a question for you. If your top salespeople are dominating the conversation, I mean talking 70% of the time, are they actually helping? Or could they be actively hurting your long-term sales success?
That is the crucial question, isn't it? It's a provocative one for any sales executive because we often confuse high activity with competence.
Right. You assume the person talking the most, the one with all the facts, is the one closing the deal.
Exactly. More dazzling facts, more witty lines. We think that equals more deals closed. But the core finding we're diving into today just flips that entire stereotype on its head.
Okay, let's unpack this right away because the data we pulled from the sales experts is, well, it's dramatically counterintuitive. We're doing a deep dive into sales secret #5, shut up and listen. And the big finding, the one that should really grab you, is this. Top performing salespeople, the ones consistently hitting quota, they only talk about 20 to 30% of the time.
That's it. Leaving that huge 70 to 80% window open for one thing and one thing only.
Deep, focused, active listening.
And our mission today is pretty straightforward. We're going to show you why active listening isn't just a soft skill you put on a job description. It is the single most critical, I'd say measurable, driver for tailoring your pitches and closing more deals.
So this is really the difference between a rep who just hears a customer, registers the basics, and a rep who truly sells to them because they understand the real motivation underneath.
That's the fundamental shift. It's for every field rep and, frankly, every leader who's coaching them. You have to abandon this outdated belief that your job is to impress prospects with product facts or endless benefits.
Or that one perfect, witty line.
Yes. The hard reality we see in the data is that customers will tell you exactly what they want, what they need, even what they fear, if you just let them. Let the silence do some work.
So your job changes from being this charismatic information giver to more of
A sophisticated intelligence analyst. That's a great way to put it.
Okay, if that's the shift, then that leads us right to this powerful sales adage from the source material. It's one that should probably be on a sticky note on every sales rep's monitor. Let the prospect write the script.
That's it. That adage is the foundation of true, effective personalization. And personalization is just non-negotiable today.
Executives are just drowning in generic noise.
They really are. The secret is realizing the prospect doesn't just give you objective data points. They give you the exact vocabulary, the emotional triggers, the whole internal narrative you need to craft a pitch that just resonates instantly.
But how do we get there? I mean, if the goal is for the prospect to write the script, how do we coach a rep to actually listen for it? It sounds almost passive.
It's not passive at all. It requires a really clear, operationalized process. And we found a surprisingly simple 3-step playbook for this. To get a rep from just hearing information to actually, synthesizing and selling with that 70-30 balance.
A playbook, I like it. Walk us through it.
Okay, step 1, ask powerful, open questions. And I mean genuinely open.
So you're moving past the simple yes-no checkboxes. Like, are you using a competitor?
Way past that. You need questions that force the prospect to reveal the emotional landscape of their decision. For instance, instead of asking, what problems are you facing? Try asking, if we could solve one thing today, what would give you the most significant career advantage this quarter and why?
Oh, I see the benefit there immediately. A career advantage is so much more personal than just, system outages. You're getting them to talk about the real stakes.
The stakes, exactly. Now, step 2 is the hardest.
Let me guess, listening.
Just listen carefully. And that means active, non-interrupting engagement. The rep has to focus entirely on absorbing, not on what they're going to say next.
Which is what most junior reps do, right? They hear a keyword and their brain just jumps to a product feature.
All the time. The top reps, they let the customer finish the entire thought, even if there's a slightly uncomfortable silence.
Okay, in step 3, this is where the 70% of listening pays off.
This is the payoff. You use the prospect's own words to shape your pitch.
So the difference between saying, our product provides superior operational efficiency,
and saying, you mentioned you're currently bogged down in manual report reconciliation, our solution directly addresses that 3 hours of lost productivity you highlighted.
Wow. Using their exact language.
Their exact phrases. It ensures that when you present the solution, it doesn't sound like a canned pitch. It sounds like an echo of their own pain points. The whole dynamic shifts from a negotiation to
a problem-solving session.
Exactly. It becomes a collaborative, high-trust session.
Okay, let's make this really concrete. For the executives listening who need to see the immediate ROI, it's easy to talk about open questions in the abstract, but the real power is in the tailoring. We can use that classic car salesperson analogy. It works for any industry.
It's the perfect illustration. I mean, think about it. A top-tier luxury sedan is the exact same product physically, no matter who walks onto the lot.
Same engine, same safety rating, same everything.
All fixed features. But the pitch, the whole story you tell, it has to shift dramatically based on what you learn in that 70–80% listening window.
Okay, so give us the scenarios. How does one car transform into 3 different solutions?
Right. Scenario 1, the rep listens, and the customer mentions they have young children. Maybe they're worried about school runs, car seat anchors.
The day-to-day chaos.
Right. So the rep immediately tailors the pitch to focus almost exclusively on safety features, collision warnings, low maintenance. They're selling peace of mind, not horsepower.
Okay, now, same car, same price, but the customer is a single professional, very focused on their career, their personal brand.
Totally different conversation. The rep pivots 180 degrees. They barely mention collision warnings. Instead, it's all about performance metrics, the aesthetic styling, the tech package. They're emphasizing how the design signals success. It's about personal enjoyment and prestige.
And the final one, the busy business executive.
Yeah.
Time is their most valuable asset. They've got maybe 5 minutes.
For them, you emphasize quiet prestige, brand reputation. You talk about the executive cabin being designed for conference call. You talk about concierge services. You are selling back their most valued asset, time. So 3 pitches, same car, but the value being sold was completely different each time.
And that's the point, isn't it? It's not just knowing your product, it's knowing what's important to this specific person.
And you only unlock that knowledge by shutting up and listening.
This also has to have a direct impact on forecasting accuracy.
Oh, absolutely. This is where that soft skill becomes a hard metric. A rep using the 70–30 rule uncovers hidden risks.
That's so.
Well, by listening, they might learn that even though their main contact loves the solution, the budget holder is skeptical about cloud migration, or that a competitor has a deep relationship somewhere else in the organization.
That's the kind of intelligence you never get from just running through a feature deck.
Never. These qualitative data points de-risk the forecast. You know why a deal might slip, not just if.
So we've established the goal is the 70–30 ratio. Now for the hard part, for the leaders listening, the coaching challenge. How do we train a team to do this? To stay quiet when commissions are on the line and every instinct is telling them to jump in and prove their expertise?
It requires extreme coaching discipline. You have to move from training on what to say to training on how to synthesize. The focus shifts from role-playing pitches to
practicing strategic restraint.
That's the perfect term for it, strategic restraint.
So how do we even start? What's the playbook for coaching a rep who just defaults to talking too much?
Well, the source material had some very practical steps. First, you have to prime the pump. Leaders need to train their teams to start every single interaction with a simple, friendly, open question. Get the prospect talking about their business, their challenges, not your product.
So you're setting the listening stage from the very first minute. But what about when the rep gets nervous and wants to jump back in?
That's step 2. Practice radical silence. The rep has to actively fight that urge to interrupt, or, as the source puts it, to outsmart the customer with a perfectly timed feature.
I've heard of coaches telling reps to count to 3 in their head after a prospect stops talking.
Yes, or even 5. It feels awkward at first, but it ensures the prospect has truly finished their thought, and it gives the rep a second to actually internalize what was just said.
The real struggle there must be the human tendency to judge what you're hearing, right?
Yeah.
To filter it through your own bias of what they should want.
That is the deepest layer of coaching. Resisting judgment. The goal isn't to agree or disagree. It's to understand their worldview so deeply that you can match your solution perfectly to their reality.
And step 3 is about the signals. Not just the words, but the clues behind them.
Exactly. Training reps to notice shifts in tone, moments of excitement, or specific words like critical or risk. The rep should be constantly asking themselves, what is truly important to this person? What are they worried about?
This completely reframes coaching. It's not just about product knowledge anymore. It's measuring empathetic, strategic engagement.
And here's the best part for leaders. With modern sales tech, you can measure this. Conversation intelligence platforms can automatically track the talk-to-listen ratio on calls.
So you can make the 70–30 ratio a core performance metric.
A core KPI. If a rep is consistently over 40% talk time, you know coaching is needed. If a top performer is at 25%, You make that the model for the whole team. You can actually measure and enforce the quiet.
That's the key. You have to operationalize it. And when an organization actually does this, the benefits must just cascade across the whole revenue engine.
Oh, they do. 4 key benefits emerge almost at once. First, you build stronger trust. Second, you understand the true underlying needs. Third, you can tailor pitches so much more naturally and quickly. And the net result of all that,
You close more deals.
you close more deals, often with higher contract values because you've built a solution that fits them perfectly.
So the challenge for every leader listening is to stop seeing listening as this, nice to have skill and start treating it as a core data-driven metric.
I think the final takeaway is maybe the most profound summary of what true sales success is. Selling isn't about showing how clever you are. It's about making the customer feel profoundly, genuinely understood. That shift from self-promotion to deep comprehension, that's the engine for growth.
We really encourage you, especially if you're a sales leader, to analyze your team's talk-to-listen metrics right away. This kind of insight comes directly from the resources shared by the sales experts. To dive deeper into their leadership strategies and frameworks, all designed to de-risk revenue, just visit thesalesexperts.com.
And maybe leave with this thought. How much revenue is on the table right now simply because your team is talking too much? What risks in your pipeline could you uncover tomorrow if every rep just started listening 70% of the time? That's the strategic question that really demands an answer.